Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. As you can see, this time I'm looking back at my PIC 16F84A project I had here for the Sega Mega CD. So I'm just going to take this Mega CD apart, and my plan is to use this 3-colour LED. You can see it's got 4 pins there. It's a common cathode LED. I'll see if I can zoom in a bit so you can see that there are 4 pins on it. As you can see at the moment, it's green. If I hold the reset down for 3 seconds, it should change to blue, I think. Oh no, it's not. Let's do that again. Yeah, I've got to hold. That's right. You've got to take it off to put it back on. Now it's blue, and if I do the same thing again, it should go green and blue. There you go. Yeah, it's not very clear there. I don't know how visible that is. It'll be better when it's got a diffuser over there. So I've just been experimenting with the resistor sizes on this. Actually, 220 is fine for this, for the red and the blue. But the green is like extremely bright. I mean, like mega bright. And I tried various sizes. I tried like a 560 ohm to dim it a little bit, and then a 1K, then a 2K2, then a 3K3, and each time it got slightly dimmer, but it was still way brighter than the red and the blue. So I ended up with a 4K7 on the green. So that's something, I need to, obviously, I'll need to have these different size resistors there. I'll have 220 ohm for the red and the blue, and a 4K7 for the green. But what I want to do with this now, just to finish my Mega CD project off, is to put this 3-colour, 4-pin common cathode LED in place of the onboard green one. The green one that I'll show you in a minute. There's a green LED on the board there that just shows power. So I'm going to use the green output to indicate power as normal, and then I'm going to wire the other 2 pins to the address bits on the mod that's already in there. So as the different ROMs are selected, you should get different colours showing. Now I don't know how well it's going to work. I might have to experiment later with different resistor sizes again, but I think it's safe to say that the green, if I just go through this again, you can see for yourself, the brightness is about the same. So yeah, that's the green. Maybe it's still a bit brighter than the blue, which you should see now. Yeah, it's on a different side of the LED, so yeah, they're about the same. I think it's quite difficult to tell by eye. And in fact, I've nearly blinded myself. I've got this blur in front of my eye at the moment just from looking at the LED for a few minutes. It's amazing how much light these things give off. So yeah, I'll take the Mega CD apart now. So here you go. You can see how it was positioned in there. I got the the ROM with the various wires soldered on there, the pass-through wire, and then I just concealed it in a little plastic bag here. It really isn't the best way of doing it. I might rethink how to mount that at some point, but it was okay. Nothing was short or anything. It's been reliable for the number of months I've been using this. So I don't know. You can just about see just down here. Those are the contacts for the green LED there. So I need to take this board out. Take the LED off, stick the other LED on just using the cathode and the green LED, so that should just mean it should just work as normal with that green LED. And then the other 2 wires, I'll just fly a couple of wires off to this PCB here, using the same, I think it's those 2 there, it's the grey and the green, and that should work, that should be it, and then it should just be a case of reassembling it and we should be done. So I got the old LED off here. I just need to clean up around here because there's still a bit of flux on there, so I'll get some isopropyl and get the brush onto that. But hopefully you can see the common and the green, which is I think next to the middle 2 pins effectively, and it's marked on the board. You can't really see it because the silk screen's covered by the flux at the moment, but it's marked on the board which way the diode goes around. But you can use your multimeter on diode reading to work out which way the anode and cathode are. But yeah, they're connected up there now, so the green is in place as normal. Now I've not used the resistor because I figure there's a resistor on the board actually, and I'm going to give it a try with the resistor that's there. It might not be driven as high or as hard as the LED that was already on there. So we'll just see. I might just have to modify this again and add a resistor, or find where the resistor is for that, because it doesn't just go, the cathode doesn't go straight to ground. I'm guessing it goes through a resistor. So I could always just find where that resistor is and just swap that resistor out if the green is too bright. But yeah, so I just need to run a couple of wires now from those, the two bits that I've snipped off at the ends there. One's the red, one's the blue, and join them up to the address pins here, either here on this or on the actual pig board. I'm not sure which yet. So here's a part way for you. You can see what I have just soldered the wire onto the actual chip there, along with the grey one. Yeah, they're joined together, the grey and the white. And then I'm just going to feed it through this little gap here, like this. And then join it up here. But I'm going to use some heat shrink. I'll slide this over in advance, and join it onto the resistor there, like that, and then slide the heat shrink over right up to the end of the LED, just to make sure it's encapsulated. Do the same thing with the other one, and then hopefully we're done. So there we go, there's the end result. There's a bit of slack here, so that this can be moved around. It might need to go right to the very corner here, I'm not sure. And I've just carefully flipped the board over. As you can see, again, we've got a little bit of slack, but these, are covered in heat shrink now, the resistors and things, and it's mounted in exactly the right offset, according to the other LED. So these pieces should go back on, these diffusers. Then they go like that there. Might be the other way around, I can't remember. So I'll reassemble this now and show you the final result. If I just hold down reset, you'll see it should change. That's like dark green. That's blue, I think. The purple or violet is very, very similar. You'll see what I mean. That's the next one. That's like a light green. The first one was like a dark green. I was hoping I wasn't going to get a green there, and then you see that's like a light blue, but I think there's a tiny bit of red in there, so I think it's like a pinky purple. If I press reset again, I'll probably go back around to the green again. Yeah, dark green. So it's almost like, visually, it tends to be between greens and blues. The red is just like negligible. I did reduce the resistor size on the red to something like 82 ohms or something, whereas the blue's got a 220. The green is perhaps too strong. Maybe the green's masking out the red when the red's there. I don't know, blurring it out, overpowering it. But at least I can tell it's changing modes. You hold the reset down, like saying, you can see it toggle through the different colours there. There is a hint of red just on the edge of that one. There's a hint of red on the end of that one as well, actually. I guess I could swap. Think about this. I could swap them around. Yeah, you're still going to get the same combination. You're still going to get the same combinations, aren't you? Effectively, I think. Or are you? What do you think about this? Maybe you're not. Maybe you get a different combination there. Maybe there's value in just swapping those two around, actually. I think I'll just try that now, actually, just see if that makes any difference. So the other thing I'm going to do while I'm here is quickly tear my Megadrive apart and fix remove the cap. If you'd seen a previous video where I did the region switch on the back for this, where the wires go inside, there's a cap, I think, going across two of the jumpers, so I think it's JP1. And someone kindly, in one of my videos, I'll put his name up here, I can't remember it at the moment, my mind's just blank. He mentioned that cap and said you've got to remove it, and yeah, it makes perfect sense now I think about it. And I think that's why when I sometimes switch this on, it says Japanese PAL. Instead of English PAL, you wouldn't expect it to be Japanese when it's in PAL, the PAL setting there. It's bizarre. So hopefully that'll solve that. So yeah, get the lid off now and we'll remove that cap. Yeah, you can see the cap here. I think rather than take the whole thing out, I'm going to actually disconnect this from the top side. You could snip it, but I think I'm going to heat the pins up and just gradually pull it through that way and then clean it up with a bit of solder braid. There you go, so I did exactly what I described. I just heated up the pin, pulled it one way, put the pin out, no problem, heated the other one and pulled it out completely, and then just cleaned up a little bit. You can see it's pretty tidy, that. So I'll reassemble that now and I'll retest it. So final results here now. You can see in standard mode it's just using a standard green LED, but that green LED is much more vibrant than the previous one, the standard one that's on there. As you can tell from the red, that's just using the standard red LED that was already present on this Mega CD. So one of the final things I did is use some thin slivers of insulation tape around the inside of that part there, just to stop the light from bleeding into this side here. I think I might at some point take the red LED out of this and put a new sort of lower voltage red LED. I think that's what the issue is. I think these are, just old LEDs, and these newer ones I think are much more vibrant at lower voltage. And I think that's what it is. You can tell the light's bleeding a little bit just down to the bottom part here a little bit. Can't do much about that. I mean, I guess I could mask it inside again with tape, and that would stop that happening down at the bottom. But if I hold the reset button down now, you'll see we go from green to like a lighter green. So that's the next region. Hold down reset again. Takes us into blue. That's another region. I think the next one's almost like white, which is region 3. As you can see there, it's a very, very light white. So due to that LED being over bright at the moment, I'm going to swap out I was going to swap out the resistor on the board. I looked at the schematics. I think it said R5 and R4. There's a resistor for each of the 2 LEDs here on the collector circuit there, I think. And the emitter just went straight to ground, I think. But there's no resistor. I've checked R3 and R4 on here, and they're the 4K7 resistors which go to the base of the 2 transistors. And I've checked the continuity, and they just go straight through. There is no resistors on the collector side at all. I'll just double check before I do any work with the resistors there, just to make sure, just in case there's something on the emitter side. But I think the emitters were just collected straight to ground, so that just convinced me that there are no resistors. But what I can do with that is, if I just turn this over, you can see the 2 transistors here. And the collector pins are the top ones. I'll just see if I can point to something. The single pin on its own, that's a collector. And right next to them is a little pad. If I just point to this one here, you can see that's the connection of the collector on the transistor. Right next to it, this little via. Now, if I break the track between and then stick a resistor on the board here between those 2, that's going to put a resistor in series. So I'm thinking of doing that with a 1K resistor. It's going to be very difficult soldering to the via, but I think I should be able to do it. And it's the same with this one. There's a little via next to the collector. I could just break the trace in between and put a resistor there. But the other thing I want to do while I'm here is swap out the red LED, because as you've just seen, the red LED is really dim. I just don't like it. So I've cut the 2 legs off one of these 4-pin, 3-colour LEDs, mounted it on there, but I don't know if you can see the offset. It's the 2 side pins that are used, and obviously this LED needs to be centred. So the easiest way to do it is to put it on the board like that. I've not soldered it in, but then connect the piece of plastic here to hold it in the right place, so that it's not going to be misaligned when you come to do the soldering. So if I now just carefully solder the 2 connections and then snip off the legs from the other side, deal with resistors, I'll reassemble it and show you the result. There we go. So really not some of my finest work here, but it should do the trick. You can see there were 2 SMD resistors here. I think they're marked R6 and R7, which contradicts the schematics actually from what I was looking at. It must be a different revision. So yeah, the resistors are, they're not short, not touching these connections here. They're just pretty close to them really. I might just move this one a little bit because it's just misaligned a bit on the top. It looks a bit crooked. I'd like it to be straight. But yeah, we've got the 2 new LEDs on here. 2 1K resistors. Now if you're interested, the resistor that was used for the red LED, I think it was, the red LED was 350 ohms I think, and the one for the green LED was about 160 ohms. So the other thing I thought I'd just show you as well, I mean it's scratched up from this, you've probably seen this before. I could do with a new one of these if anybody's got a one that's in pristine condition. But I've taped here around the back, right up the sides and things of the edges of these, and sort of a similar thing on the very edges of here to stop the light bleeding out the sides, just on the side parts. So we should get nice clear distinction between the red and the green sides here without them blurring into each other. So here's the final results now. I'm very pleased with the end result here. You can see it's flashing there because I've left the disc in for a period of time. If I just, what can I do? I'll just reset that. I'll show you the red LED. I'll just run it. My system's set to PAL at the moment. I'm using the original PAL BIOS and it's green as it should be. But hopefully you can see there was much more vibrant. Sorry, it's not flashing now. Just give it a sec, it should do something I think. It's not doing, is it? It's because it's not the right kind of disc. There you go, you can see the red one. So I'll change the region and I'll show you we've got very distinct colour differences now. The other colours have really kicked in. Can you see that's like a green yellow, which is superb. It's almost like yellow actually to the eye here. They're not coming out very well on the camera. I've got no idea why. So that's the next region, like a nice vibrant blue. very distinct from the previous two colours. Reset again, and there's violet there for the region 3. So anyway, I thought you'd find that interesting. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.